Hi, this is PaladinPenguin, and I am reviewing today Until I Have You. It is a Steam PC platformer with a lot of retro Castlevania-esque Hotline Miami. It's like, essentially if Castlevania and Hotline Miami had a baby. This is exactly what it would be. The difficulty is very much there. It's very difficult. It's very extensive. There's 12 chapters in the game for a $13 game. That 12 chapters, and each one had to be divided up into about 4 or 5 levels, including boss fights. Plenty of fun to be had. It's a very difficult game, like I said. If you're a glutton for punishment, you'll totally like it. It's created by James Spanos and Adria Ferreira, who James Spanos created the Cat Lady, which came out a couple of years ago, which is kind of like a horror adventure game. This is, like I said, very Castlevania-esque, very fast-paced, a lot of running, a lot of platforming, classic Castlevania, and varied locations, a lot of different kinds of levels. Each chapter's got its own feel. The music is great. It's not redundant like in Party Hard, but it's not as great as Hotline Miami, but it is not as redundant as Party Hard, like I said. It's a cyberpunk story, a pretty much straightforward revenge story. As you progress through the game, you start to kind of lose your sanity, and it kind of affects you in terms of how you can do certain mechanics in the game, for better or for worse. That being said, a lot of the game is about movement. It's totally about movement, and it feels kind of rhythmic. Would be the best way to say it. As soon as you die multiple times in these very difficult platforming levels, you start to kind of develop a rhythm to the point where each level complete feels like a achievement. Boss battles are very complex as the game progresses, and they are very difficult as well, until you really learn the rhythm of the game itself. You have different kind of weapons to use, but you can or cannot. You can decide not to use when you're playing in these levels. You have to kill the bosses, of course, but when it comes to like small sub enemies, you don't have to kill. You can avoid conflict altogether. However, there is definitely a difficulty spike as the chapters increase in difficulty and stuff like that. And it's definitely a game for people that are fans of Hotline Miami. It's got varied locations. It's got a nice synthwave 80s aesthetic, I would say. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for $13 on Steam, and I got it on Steam sale when it first came out early this month for about $9. It's totally worth looking into if you're a fan of these platformers. I don't really have no gripes about it, other than for someone who's not that great at these kinds of games, it's certainly difficult. So while the difficulty spike might just be kind of my opinion, it's a fast-paced, fun game, cool-looking game. It's got a lot of cool, interesting ideas. I definitely recommend this game.